Chainsaw Man's newest anime trailer is finally here, and it looks absolutely stunning. Beautiful, magnificent. We also got to hear some of the voice actors in work, and basically the whole vibe and atmosphere that Mappa is trying to go for with, obviously, this production. I was very curious on how they were going to approach Fujimoto's identity and his style within his works, and how that would ultimately transfer over to an anime adaptation, and it seems like they're doing a pretty good job. I think they are definitely extrapolating it into different avenues, because trying to mimic Fujimoto's style sounds pretty difficult. So instead, for earlier thoughts, it seems like they're playing into more of a darker route and showing the brutality of Chainsaw Man's world. It has always been there within the manga, but it definitely seems like the anime wants to pull it out and showcase it a lot more within its rawest form, which I'm more than happy with. Everything you're going to see without this video is from the newest trailer. Hopefully I don't get blasted by copyright for it. It is promotional material. It is publicly available. You can go watch it in its entirety. I'm only going to be showing bits and pieces of the animation, as well as some pictures and even the audio for some of the voice actors. So speaking of them, it's a pretty interesting cast. We only have 4 characters currently: Denji, Makima, Aki, and Power, and a lot of them are relatively unknown. Denji, for the most part, is brand new into the scene, only having 2 notable roles that are very small. Unless there's more hidden away somewhere, this person is new to the industry. But just hearing their performance within the trailer sounds pretty exciting, and they have obviously one of the biggest opportunities and roles of a lifetime here, so hopefully it works out well for them. Out of this list, Makima is probably our most experienced. Here's some of the characters that she plays. I'm very interested to see the range of how this will work. For me, I really like Makima's voice, specifically because it sounds very balanced. It sounds almost a little bit cutesy but nonchalant and very emotionless, or devoid of that, so to speak. So I think it fits perfectly in that regard, but the range on where it could actually go is pretty much endless, and how they want to play around with it. So the voice actor for Aki is relatively unknown, pretty much only doing background or supporting roles, nothing really major at all. So this is a massive role for them as well, and it seems pretty fitting. And Power is the voice actor for Jolene from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Here's some of the other works that she's been in, and sounds pretty incredible as well. I think this is definitely a great pick, but also a very interesting one. I think there's a lot of range here, especially with Denji's voice actor being so new to the scene. I'm wondering how they've decided to pick that person. Just based on this list, obviously they weren't going for the most experienced people within the industry, but instead maybe ones that were more suited towards that voice or that character. And if that is the case, we can expect some pretty great performances from all of them. Now I'm going to go through and kind of play the voice clip from the trailer if you are interested, so here it is.
君の選択肢は2つ。悪魔として私に殺されるか。軽い気持ちで仕事するやつは死ぬさ。生きてるやつはみんな。おうおう、ひげ伏せ人間。わしの名はパワー。ただせめて普通の生活がしたいだけなのに。
Like all things popular anime related, a lot of people are going to jump on board with this, a lot of people are going to hate it, a lot of people are going to despise what it's trying to do. Overall, I think it's a pretty great trailer. I think it looks phenomenal, sounds beautiful. They're obviously going for a style that is very similar to Fujimoto's while doing it the best they can. They're taking more creative endeavors towards it, which playing into the darker routes I think is a very great idea, and obviously because the whole show isn't censored, even better. Just based off the trailer, the atmosphere or the vibe that it's producing is very intoxicating, and I'm endlessly excited to see how this builds within episodes, alongside music, alongside its animation, alongside the comedic or subtle moments for these characters. That's kind of why I emphasized the range of these voice actors before. We really don't know all too much about them other than Power and Makima, so there definitely is a lot of play with how they want to utilize their voice for each character and emphasize them a lot more to bring them to life in a really beautiful way. Animation wise, this is looking fantastic. I'm curious to see how many episodes we get from this, if it's going to be 12 or 24 split in 2. What's the downtime going to look like? How much chaotic action or CGI are they going to use? And it seems like they are leaning very heavily into the new technological side of things, with expressing how advanced they said this anime production was going to be. So I could only assume this was how they would utilize CGI, basically combining 3D animation, 2D animation in a much more efficient way to create a really interesting but flourishing product. If this trailer is to go by anything, think it definitely worked out for them. It may be early, but I have no concerns for the action. I have no concerns for the slow or emotional moments or even the fast and chaotic ones. Everything so far seems to be intertwining really well. A lot of people are going to be very, very happy with this trailer. And while it might seem a little bit too bright or contrasted or a couple of steps away from Fujimoto's identity or style that's within the manga, I think creatively they're taking their own steps into a really beautiful direction, obviously with the guidance of Fujimoto as well. There is going to be anime only stuff within here, which should be fun. I'm not sure if that is provided by Fujimoto or if he's supporting that idea or writing it himself. Most likely a combination of both, who knows, but definitely more material to pace out the story and to help the visual side of the animation be a lot more clearer in design. What I mean by that is the pacing for Chainsaw Man can be very sporadic and chaotic all over the place at some times, and trying to transfer that pacing from the manga to the anime needs to be evaluated very carefully. So I assume that's why they decided to bring in some anime only moments to help pace it out a little bit more, to make it feel a bit more comfortable for viewers. We didn't actually get a concrete release date. It's still October of this year, most likely within the first half of the month, but you never truly know. One thing that I am very curious about, which is only slightly portrayed in the trailer, is the music. How are they going to approach it? Is it going to be very upbeat, techno heavy, similar to the trailer, or are they going to slow it down in certain aspects or to ramp it up even further? Not to say that it can make or break an anime experience, but obviously music is very important, it's very powerful. The ambient soundtrack that you put within backgrounds is powerful, brings things to life, it energizes things, and if they are going to keep the upbeat techno stuff, I hope they utilize it in really creative ways. Fujimoto is incredibly creative conceptually and artistically with the manga and its overall experience, and I hope they're able to pull it off here as well. Maybe to not such lengths, but I would be very surprised and happy to see inverted colors or unique paneling or camera work or just the overall shots or compositions that they decide to do to reinterpret different scenes. Obviously they can't one-to-one recreate Fujimoto's style or identity, but there could be moments or pockets within here that they could try and do it that really plays into that chaotic, colorful mess that just looks beautiful. Hopefully for some fights or interactions or just bits and pieces paying homage to the original work and showing how they can actually bring it to life. Overall, I am very happy with this trailer, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well. It's going to be talked about for the next handful of days, the next weeks, maybe leading all the way up to the release. It's a very massive time for Fujimoto, for Chainsaw Man fans, and for the industry in itself. They're really putting a lot of things in motion for this production to be incredibly successful. Chainsaw Man already is. With the release of part 2, with the anime around the corner, with this new trailer, with the recent reception of Fujimoto's one-shots and how well received they were, this is Fujimoto's year, and most likely next year as well. Regardless if you love or hate Chainsaw Man, I think this is going to be a great time for anyone and everyone, and if you've never heard about it, maybe you've made it this far and don't know anything about Chainsaw Man, give it a chance. Go give it a read, wait for the anime, indulge with the trailer, and maybe it'll spark your interest. Not only are we scheduled for a great time with Chainsaw Man, not only are we about to see it skyrocket into fame and popularity even further than what it was before, mind you, it sold within the top 10 of best-selling manga of that year without an anime, also with part 1 being ended for more than a year at that point, it's about to explode once again. It just recently hit 15 million copies in circulation, which is absolutely phenomenal, and it's only going to rise exponentially with this anime. With the incredible reception towards part 2, as well as the jam-packed October that we have for anime. We have Bleach, we have Mob Psycho, we have My Hero as well, and a handful of other things that are absolutely thriving. It is a massive end of the year run for anime, with a lot of big series, a lot of beautiful work coming out to play, and overall it's going to be a brilliant time. It's a great day to be an anime fan, a manga fan, and more specifically in this case, a Chainsaw Man fan. I'm very excited to see how this full production comes to life, what the ins and outs and the motion of the story is going to be, and overall how much of an experience everything is. I'm more than excited, you're most likely more than excited, we don't have long to wait. Till then, maybe go reread the manga, maybe go check out part 2 if you haven't, go indulge in Fujimoto's previous works like Fire Punch or maybe even his one-shots, Look Back, Goodbye Eri, etc. There's a plethora of stuff that you can indulge within while you wait. With that, however, I want to thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it, drink plenty of water, and I will see you within the next one. Goodbye.